So you're already comfortable laying down on the ground. Hopefully you've done your head to toe scan. You're feeling nice and relaxed. We'll start to bring in some movement, rolling your wrists, rolling your ankles, bending your fingers, bending your toes. Beginning to warm up the body. On your next inhale, reach your arms right up over top of your head. Bring your feet together, point your toes, nice big stretch. On your next exhale, release your arms back down to your sides. As you inhale, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a nice little hug. Reach around, grab your shins, grab your hamstrings. Keep your head relaxed down on the ground. Slowly roll side to side, massaging the muscles in your low back. If you feel you need to take your knees apart to target those muscles a little more easily, go ahead and do that. And on your next exhale, I'm going to get you to roll over onto your right hand side. Supporting your head with your right arm, extend it out. Ideally, we want you to bring your knees in line with your hip. So really important here to make sure that your knees are stacked on top of one another. And we're going to do a windmill. So keeping your left arm extended out, keep your eyes open. You're going to watch your hands at all times. And we're going to do a nice big circle, nice big swoop. Inhale as you come up. Keeping nice straight elbow. Exhale, reach around as you begin to swoop down. Keep your head relaxed down on the mat or on your arm. Inhale as you sweep up. Try and get your fingers a little bit closer to the ground. Again, very important to make sure that your knees aren't sliding back and forth. Keep the pelvis locked in place. Rotating through the T-spine. So when our pelvis is locked, it forces that rotation up through your T-spine, up in between your shoulder blades. So we'll do one more. Keep those knees together. And roll over onto the other side. And we'll do 5 more on the other side. So again, getting yourself into position. Keep your knees stacked on top of one another. Knees in line with hips. And exhale as you're sweeping down, watching your fingers the whole time. Nice big circles. Keep your head relaxed on the mat. Watch the knees stay together. Imagine they're crazy glued together. No sliding. So feel your chest opening. Feel that right shoulder blade coming back, opening up through the chest. No rush getting through these. We want nice full inhalations and exhalations. This is the last one. I've lost count, but should have been about 5. And when you're done, rolling over onto your back, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, getting ready for a bridge. So very important to include some hip extension right off the get-go. What this does is it gets our glutes firing, helps stabilize the core. So for this particular movement, we're going to start with hips down on the ground, arms down by your sides. Bring your feet in together but hip width apart. All right, bring your heels a little bit closer to your bum. So you should be able to touch your heels with your fingertips. And on your inhale, I'm going to get you to bring your hips up as high as they'll go, squeezing the glutes together, keeping the hands down on the ground. So for this, I'm going to get you to take your left hand, reach it up and over your right shoulder, tap over here as far as you can. Across your chest, so over this way. There you go. Exhale, come back down, arms down, hips down. On your next inhale, hips come up and we do the alternate side. So right hand over the left shoulder, tap my hand over here, reach up, Good, exhale, come back down. So we're gonna do that 3 times on each side. Go ahead and do that, Ian. So what's happening here is as he comes up into full hip extension, by adding in that alternate arm tap, he's stabilizing the core. So he's engaging his lats, these nice big muscles here. That ensures the spine is stable, forcing that movement to come from the hips, making sure it's a real hip extension. So inhale, full extension, bring those hips up a little bit higher, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So bring that arm right over your chest. Good. Try and keep those arms active. Okay, so make sure your fingertips are strong and straight, reaching right over across your chest. So I want you to tap my hand over here, Ian. Right over here, there you go. And that's good for now. Bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourselves a little hug. Roll side to side. And now I want you to start rolling along your spine. Okay, so you're gonna roll up onto your feet, back them to your shoulders. And what we're trying to do is just massage the spine a little bit, get some fluids moving. As you roll onto your shoulders, try and bring the weight right up into your shoulders. And on your next roll up, stay seated. And coming into a cross-legged position. Sitting up, the first thing we're going to do is start to neutralize our spine. So bringing the shoulders back, bringing the ears back in line with the shoulders. So sitting nice and comfortably, we'll do a few shoulder rolls, beginning with an inhale, roll your shoulders up. Exhale, peel them back and bring them down. Nice smooth movement once more. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, peel your shoulders back and down. And last time, inhale, roll up. Exhale, shoulders together and down. Dropping your hands down to the floor. On your next inhale, your right arm is going to go up towards the ceiling. And you're going to slide your left hand across the floor. So getting a nice side stretch in through the right hand side. Keep that chest open, right shoulder back. Inhaling, keeping that chest nice and open. Holding here for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, slowly release that arm back down to the floor, and we'll switch over to the other side. Inhale the left arm up towards the ceiling, slide that right arm over to the side. Keep that left shoulder back, so we want a nice open chest here. And on your next exhale, drop your arm back down to the floor. Coming into a seated forward fold, get nice and comfortable. Realign your spine, your positioning. Take a nice deep breath in, roll your shoulders up. So sitting back up. Inhale, roll your shoulders up. Exhale, release them down. Once you're in this position, fingers come down on the floor. And hinging at the hips, we're going to start to walk our fingers forward. Holding here for a few breaths. Trying to remember that in each posture that we hold, as you inhale, you want to lengthen and straighten, so readjust your positioning. Make sure you have lots of space. And as you exhale, that's when you gain a little bit more distance. So that's when you fall deeper into your pose. So in this position, it may be uncomfortable for some, but try to use your breathing as you inhale to lengthen and straighten the spine. Keep that hinge, right? We don't want to fold over. We want that nice straight spine hinging at the hips. And as you exhale, that's when you slowly melt a little bit further in. So we'll hold that for another count of 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come on back up. And we'll come into a tabletop position. So on all fours, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. So moving on to thread the needle. Again, a little bit of a spinal twist, rotating here at the T-spine. So in this position, again, our hips are locked. So as you begin to inhale, I want your right arm to go up towards the ceiling, fully extended, looking up. Exhale, you're going to take that hand, bring it down towards the floor, thread it through between your arm and your leg, bringing that right shoulder down towards the floor. If it helps to bring your hips back down towards your heels, you can also do that. If you need to support yourself on your forearm instead of right down on your shoulder, you can do that too. If you're comfortable in this position, feel free to extend the left arm up into the air. Holding here for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, put the arm down, slowly making your way back into a tabletop. And we will reverse this on the other side. So inhale the left arm up in the air, looking up towards your fingertips. As you exhale, coming through, thread the needle. Again, always taking notice of the differences left versus right. Often we have imbalances or weaknesses or dysfunctions that make some positions harder on one side versus the other. So taking stock of that and noting where we need to add a little more time and love. So holding here for another count of 3, 2, and 1. Exhale down, coming back into a tabletop. So from here, I'm going to get you to curl your toes under and come right into down dog. So hips come up. You're going to feel pretty tight in this position, so I want you to bend your knees, pedal your feet. Do whatever kind of movements you feel that you need to warm yourself up. Release the tension in your hamstrings. So in down dog, it's really important to note a few things. So ideally what we're looking for is that your tailbone is pointing up towards the ceiling, that your chest is pushing back towards your thighs. The weight is going through your shoulders right down into the palms of your hands, and you're using your pointer and your thumb to hold most of that weight, to take most of that pressure. So some people find a little bit of relief if their fingers are slightly pointed in, but again, it's very personal depending on your strengths and your weaknesses, how you position your hands. So take time to figure that out, play around with it, find out what position you like, because throughout our yoga sessions, we tend to do a lot of down dogs. Full body movement, really great. So holding for another few moments, getting comfortable here. And we're going to move on to some sun salutations. So this is where we begin to increase the heat a little bit, increase the speed. We will begin with sun salutation A. So walking your feet towards the front of the mat, keeping the knees bent, coming into a forward fold. So again, keep those knees bent, keep the pressure off the back of your legs, let your arms fall. As you inhale, coming up to standing. And coming to the top of your mat, into mountain pose. So mountain pose is a very basic position, feet together, arms down by your sides, nice and strong. Chest out, shoulders down and back. And here we go. Inhale, arms up over top of your head. Nice big breath in. Hands together in a prayer position. So palms facing, exhale, forward fold. Again, keeping your knees bent, making sure this is nice and comfortable. Inhale to halfway lift. So halfway lift, make sure we have a nice neutral spine. There we go, so make those adjustments. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Feet to the back, coming into a high plank position. From here, we're going into chaturanga. So chaturanga is another flow that I use quite a lot. So what this involves is, on your next exhale, we're going to slowly lower down towards the mat, just so that we're hovering. Inhale, sweep the chest up, coming into up dog. So shoulders peel back, opening up through the chest, looking up. Exhale, sweep the hips up, curl the toes under, coming into down dog. So very basic chaturanga, coming down from a high plank into an up dog, exhale through to a down dog. So again, finding strength and stability in this position, tailbone pointing up, chest pushing back towards the thighs. Doesn't matter if your heels in the back are touching. What we're more concerned with is the tilt in your pelvis. And walk your feet back up towards the mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands come all the way back up over top of your head. Into prayer, so meeting at the top. Exhale, release them back down. And allow them to fall down to your side. Back into mountain pose. Moving on to sun salutation B. As you inhale, you're going to come into chair position this time. So your hips are going to come back as if you were in a squat. So holding this position, as you bring your hands into prayer, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming into a halfway lift, nice neutral spine. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Feet to the back, high plank, and going through that chaturanga flow. So I'll let you go to the rhythm of your own breath. Make sure they're nice, full movements. So as you come into up dog, peel those shoulders back, chest out. As you flow through to down dog, again, taking any adjustments that you need, repositioning the hands, making sure that you're comfortable. Inhale your right leg up in the air. Exhale through, bring it forward in between your hands up at the top of the mat, or as close as you can get. Turn that back foot on an angle. Inhale, coming into warrior one. So what's happening here is we're going to square our hips and our shoulders towards the front, keeping that back foot, the edge of the foot, parallel to the end of the mat. As you exhale, I want you to begin to lower your hips, driving that weight forward through the knee. Holding here for another full breath. Again, rising up through the rib cage, arms up, active fingertips. And exhale, forward fold, hands to the mat, feet to the back. We'll go through chaturanga. Flow right through to down dog. Inhale the left leg up in the air. Exhale, bring it forward. Coming back into warrior one on the other side. So again, turning that back foot on an angle as you inhale, arms come up. Shifting your hips and your shoulders towards the front. Keeping nice strong arms, active fingertips. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Feet to the back, chaturanga. As you exhale, flow through the down dog and holding here for a few breaths. Dropping your knees down to the floor and shifting into a seated position. Eventually making your way back down onto the mat, laying down. Keep your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, arms out to the side. You're going to cross your right leg over your left leg. Drop your legs down over to the left, looking over to the right. So we have a spinal twist here. What I want you to focus on is trying to keep both shoulder blades on the floor, relaxing and breathing into this position, allowing the weight of your hands to fall, your legs to fall over. If it helps, you can take your left hand and place it on your knee if you need that extra pressure holding it down. Taking a few deep breaths here. And inhale, rolling back up to the middle. And take your left leg, cross it over the right, dropping the legs over to the right, looking over to the left. So again, if it helps, you can always grab that arm, rest it on your leg. Only if you need that additional pull. Trying to keep both shoulder blades on the floor. And on your next inhale, coming back up into neutral. So we are at the end of our class, where now I'd like you to use this time to do any movements that you feel your body needs, any movements that you feel that you missed out on during this particular practice. And once you do that, it's time for your final Shavasana. So for Shavasana, this is where we relax, lay down, allow your legs to extend down the mat, feet fall naturally out to the side. Some people like to completely starfish out. Some like to just take a little bit of room. This is, again, a very personal position, so whatever you feel comfortable with, go ahead and do that now. And if you have time and if you have the desire, now is a good time to do a little bit of meditation. But that is all for today. Thank you.